Hey there. Woohoo. How you doing? Happy birthday to whose ever birthday it is today. How's that? It covers everybody. Anybody on this day while you're watching this video. And that's the way it's going to go. And I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a wonderful day. I've been working nonstop, which is fine. Great. Bringing in more money and getting happy and excited or whatever I may do. And I hope you are positive and you're feeling that wonderful energy and that the summer energy has gotten going with you and you're thinking of places you can walk or go or watch or get on the boat. I don't know what you want to do. Whatever you like to do, just do it. Maybe it's just getting a coffee in the morning. I'm happy to do that. I like that, getting a coffee and going sitting in the park. But anyway, I came on today because I was trying to figure out. Remember I told you that I was taking over my grandparents' debt because they both, each side has been in the hospital. And they kind of got behind because they were paying off the hospital things, the deductibles that were rather large. So they were paying those off, putting them on a credit card, and trying to figure this out. And then somebody had talked them into the HELOC, which we knew nothing about. They don't talk about their finances, at all. And didn't know that was happening because at first they were going to get a reverse mortgage, and we said, oh God, no. We did get wind of that. And I think that was part of the hospital issue going on, but we didn't know that was happening. And it got to the point where it blurted out, and they had gotten in a slight argument in front of me, which I had never really, my family doesn't argue in front of me. I never seen or saw, my parents argue except one time, and my mother got really angry and she threw a can of, a jar of moisturizing cream at my dad, but she wasn't intending to hit him. She was a great baseball player, and so she would throw past you, when she was playing baseball. But it was just enough to wake him up, and whatever had happened, that type of thing, which I do know what happened later on, because like I said, I asked, what happened during that time. I walked in on it, and I think they thought I was next door at my friend's house, and came home, and he was ducking. He was just ducking, and I'm looking at this jar of cold cream or moisturizer going across, and it hit the china closet that we have, and the nick's still there where it hit. And that was the only time I saw them argue. They never argued in front of me. If it was probably after I went to bed or I was at school or something or whenever, but I never saw any type of argument or disagreement. They never acted like they were angry with each other. It was just that. And my grandparents were the same way. They don't, it's in front of you, it's like, no, we're not doing that. So when they weren't bickering. They taking us out to eat, and we were sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden it kind of turned to we wouldn't be in this debt if I hadn't went to the hospital, and then it escalated, but it wasn't loud. They're very quiet people. My dad's side is a little more up there a little bit, but they don't scream or anything, not in front of people or anything like that, but they're louder than the other side. The other side is very quiet. My mom's side is. And so I just said, stop. I said, how much is it? What's going on? And I went over there and found that they had taken somebody, it was a bank or something, had talked them into this HELOC, which was it goes up. It's not fixed. It goes with whatever the market is out there. If the market's 7%, it goes up. If it goes up 13%, it's going to go up to 13%. And Then they had two credit cards that they were trying. One group had a set of credit cards, which you'll see in a minute, and the other group had a set of cards. Each side has been in the hospital, and each side was trying to pay off their debt of the hospital. That's all it was, because they're very, I want to say, frugal, because they are. I know what they're saving their money for. They're saving their money for us and me and the kids. I know where it's going. It's kind of like my parents. They're saving whatever they have left is for us, to pass it down to us. And they're determined to do that. So they place a lot of their money into CDs, things that they can't get out, things that they can't get to. And the only thing they could get to was the HELOC, which is like a second mortgage. You got the first big mortgage, and then you got the second mortgage, but they don't have a first mortgage. They did pay off the house, but this small mortgage, that's why I tell you all the time, when you get a second mortgage, be careful and make sure you pay them, because it can actually turn, even though the big mortgage is large. Okay, maybe you owe $100,000 on a big mortgage, but you owe $20,000 on the second mortgage. Well, if something happens over there and the second mortgage goes, okay, we want our money, they can actually cause a sale of your house, and you could lose your house. So you need to watch a second mortgage, like putting, you get a second mortgage to put your car on it and pay it off. You put your debts on it. It's a good deal, but HELOCs move. You need a fixed rate. Always look for a fixed rate, even with your regular mortgage. Look for a fixed rate. I've walked out on people, when they couldn't, oh no, and they did it at the last minute. I was getting ready to sign the papers, and they go, oh, by the way, we couldn't get that fixed rate for you. I got up and left, and one almost chased me down, like, well, maybe we can do it. And I said, it's too late now, and I know you see houses that you love and whatever, but down the road, if you can't handle it, or you have a major catastrophe in life, like you go to the hospital like they did, or something happens and you can't handle it, they could potentially take your house. They could potentially take my grandparents' house if they could not weather the storm and pay that HELOC. So, they could sell it, and then we get our money, and whatever's left, you get that, and you go find your place to live or try to buy your place back. They don't care. Nobody, when you do things like that, I always think these people do not care about you. You make sure that you find something that you have, that you need, and stick to it. Stick to your guns. And I know there were houses I've turned down. I've turned down 3 houses because they would not do a fixed mortgage. They didn't want to. I had the credit score. I had everything. It was just, I don't want to. They want extra money. If it moves up and down, it's something else. My girlfriend had bought a house, and she went with the variable moving APR, and it was not fixed. And I tell you, her payments were $500, and then the next month it was $12. Then it would go down to 10, whatever, 400, and then it would go back up. And I told her, your house isn't even worth $1,200 a month. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And she was caught in that for quite a while. And she was low income. She was very happy to have the house. She had fought for buying this house. She'd never had a house and didn't understand about the fixed rate or whatever. And they just tied her up into this house. I mean, she had a heart attack at the age of 20. And then she had gotten this house, and it was just going. It was going up and down. Her husband got very ill, could not work. Her daughter had gotten into other stuff, and so it was just, double H hockey sticks. But anyway, I will continue on with this, but I decided that I know about Excel, from the kids going to school, me going and all that, but I need something on paper, and I just kind of wanted to show you what was going on, and I commend those who do Excel. That's very nice. I'm glad you do it. I'm glad anybody can do anything, but you do you. Okay, you do you. And I decided, remember I told you that I'm not competing with anybody. Don't come, and you don't either. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. If you can't do Excel, you can't do Excel. I'll tell you, I'm not interested in doing Excel. I can do it. I don't want to. Okay. I learned a long time ago. By the time I left, when I got to college my first year, I was so glad because, in high school, gym class, I hated gym. I just totally hated gym. And they're telling you what you're going to do. This week we're going to do this, we're going to do gymnastics. Well, I was not going to be a gymnast, okay? Then the next week we're going to play baseball. Well, I was good at that. That was okay. I wasn't I wasn't interested in it. This week we're going to run laps. Well, I was not going to be a runner. I wasn't interested in that. I was going, to college. I didn't care. It's like, who cares about this stuff, And I had that was probably the turning point because they had a gymnastics tumbling. And when you're an only child, there's some things you don't do. My parents were working people. They were not out there tumbling. And I didn't know how to tumble. Didn't see any reason to tumble. You weren't giving me a reason. The teacher was giving me a reason. And why do I have to tumble? And so I didn't tumble. I just sat down. Well, we'll call your parents. I said, go right ahead. Let's see what they say. My dad and mom were tyrants. It's like they weren't mean to you, but it was like, look, is this going to help her life? She's going to college or wherever she's going to go. My parents didn't force me to go to college. They didn't even say anything about college to me. And they said, if it's not going to help, then I remember the teacher saying, well, what if there's a fire and she has to tumble out? And they said, oh, she'll get out. She's going to come out of there even if she does tumble accidentally. Okay, we're not even worried about that, about this. And you're calling us about this, about her tumbling. They said, you don't have anything else to do? Just have her write a paper or something. Just do something else. So when I got to college, we got to choose what we wanted to do, which my forte was tennis. So that's what I did. I played tennis whole 4 years. There I was. I was fine. I was like, okay, I can do this I like. Stop telling me what to do. And so I'm telling you, you don't have to do what you don't want to do. And I'm comparing myself to me. Okay, and you should compare yourself to you. Okay, you don't compare yourself to everybody out there. First, when I started, yes, I was like, oh, they're doing that. I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm not good enough to do that. I don't know anything about cash stuffing. Okay, and I did know because my parents had cash stuffed. I watched them, My grandmother used little jars to cash stuff in, which she's probably got hid somewhere still. Okay, but it's like, if you compare yourself to somebody else, you may not make the mark, and you're going to be very upset and very depressed with yourself because you didn't get to where you think they are. And some of them are holding and hiding secrets, and you don't know anything about it. You have no idea. Okay, so the only person you need to compare yourself to is the you yesterday. Are you going to be better and be better than that person yesterday? Okay, are you going to pay off your debts and show that person of yesterday, I'm not you anymore? Okay, compare yourself to you all the time. Okay, don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about family. Don't compare yourself to a family member. It's like my mother. My mother is an extraordinary cook. I mean, she's been a chef. She's cooked for people, in houses, and she's catered. You taste her food, you will gain weight in 5 seconds. And I can cook, but I know I'm not that cook that she is. But I don't compare my food to hers. I do things a little differently, and she congratulates me. She goes, oh, that was delicious. Oh, she never suggests anything. It's like me find my own way in cooking, and I know I'm not the best, with her, but I don't compare myself to her. She doesn't want me to. She wouldn't want me to do that anyway. I know her. And my family anyway. They do not want you. You don't compare yourself to other people. So always remember that. Don't compare yourself to somebody over here that's paid, or even me. If I pay off my debt, okay, fine. Okay, but maybe you can't do it in the same speed. Maybe you don't make that income. Maybe you got to pay a bill, okay, that nobody knows about, or we do know about it, and you stop and you just say, I'm doing this for me. I'm going to be better than I was yesterday, and I'm going to pay this thing off whether y'all like it or not. Okay, so that's what you need to do. So today what I did was trying to get this, I told you I get money anxiety when I can't figure out something. I figured it out. I understood the debts, but I wanted it all kind of in one place where I could write it down and do things with. So first of all, I wrote down, we'll go back, should I go back here or up here? Okay, right here, I made my own debt tracker, which I call the Bear Tracker. And I wrote down each of the debts that I have to finish paying. Now, the HELOC, the Premier 1 and 3, it says those are grandparents, and the Credit 1 is grandparents, and the others are mine. So that's the tracker for each one of them. But then in the back, I individually broke them down. So we'll start this purple, because you know I love purple. Oh, yeah. Okay, so these back here are mine. So we're going to start with the house. Now we know the house is the biggest thing that I have left. And if you don't know about the house is, I bought it. They were foreclosing on it. I got it in an auction. And so other houses around here were not $170,000. Okay, I can tell you that. They were way more than my house. And at the time. Now, my house, of course, went up with their houses because, when you sell a house or other people sell it, now they base it on, that house sold this way, so your house is that way. But see, my parents have taught me, you fight that, okay? We're not selling it until you get to the price we want you to get to. And if it doesn't sell, we just don't go anywhere until we get what we want. So anyway, I bought this house for $170,500, and my payments were $131. $1,361, and I have an interest rate of 3.5%, which is way lower than the national average right now. Okay, so some people today have lower than mine, which I know why, but but that's the way they do you. It's like your credit score, you're this, you're that, and yes, your credit score goes down. That's why, and the interest rate goes up, and I can't understand by the people that have the hardest time paying or trying to get into a home, like low income. You're going to give them an interest rate that's going sky high. You're going to give them a interest rate that's not fixed. Mine is fixed. No matter what happens in the economy, it will stay at 3.5. Okay, no matter what. If it goes up sky high and everything that says 14%, mine's staying at 3.5 until I sell it. And if I decide to get a loan, yeah, I'm going to hit one of those higher numbers, but I intend to pay off my next house with this one plus a little more money, and hey, bye. So for the first thing I did was the beginning balance was $170,500. The minimum payment I can make is $1,361, and the interest rate is 3.5. So the month of July, I paid $1,700. No, I paid $1,400 because I changed things around, which you will see later on in the week. And I got my cheat sheets over here, so y'all can't memorize everything. Just won't work. Yeah, so I paid them $1,400 because I wanted to get this all together. Okay, so the balance now is because I didn't go all the way through from 170, but the balance now is 145,644. So it's 145,644 that the balance is now. And they don't really come down as fast because the principal that's helping to pay the balance, it's small right now. As I pay the house down, eventually the last year, it's going to start accelerating where it's paying the house off. But I don't want to be here that long, so that's not working. Okay, that is not working. Okay, my next debt, of course, is the car. The car, the beginning balance of the car was technically $82,000. Now, I bought it for $32,000 in the auction. It happened to be in a drug bust. The guy bought it one day and they sold it. That's how I got this car. My minimum payment was $611.74. And my interest rate is now, because I refinanced it, is at 5.5%. When I got it at the beginning, it was 13%. Okay, so this past month, I paid I just added $650 to it or something. Yeah, I think that came out right. But anyway, $50 and some change. Okay, $50.30 to it. And now the balance of the car is $20,041.94. So it is coming down quickly because I paid, remember, in between when we started in October, it was still up there. I hadn't really hit a dent with it at all. My last debt is the hospital. It is with a company, which I told you that when you come out the hospital and you have a hospital bill, you have to work quickly to do this because the hospital didn't tell you. Okay, call the hospital back and say, is there a way or is there a company that I can put my debt into to pay off this bill? And that's when I called back, because I said, how can you do monthly payments, which my hospital does, but they said with this big amount, they moved it over to this company. It was called Access One. I owed my deductible part of $6,997. Which will probably not happen again because I'll be going back to Aflac with the duck and where they pay everything. So that's where I'll be going after this is all over or before. But I want everything paid off for us, all of that. And my minimum monthly payment is $78.48. Their interest rate is 4%, but they just went up in July. Now it's 7%, but they can't touch me. It's at 4%. Is fixed, and that's the way it is. So the payment that I made for it, I just left it at $78.48 for July. And now, right now, I owe, now this moves too. It's not, it's acting like it's fixed, but every time I go back, it's got a few more dollars on there, like $2 more or something on there, but I'm just ignoring them right now. You know, I don't want to even get into it. I'm like, it's fine, just go away. Okay, now that's all I have. Okay, if I paid that off, I'm done with my debt completely. And I'm not leaving, but I'm just telling you I'm done. No, that's not all done. Hold on. My other part's up here. I put it up here because I was doing it. Verizon. Remember Verizon? Or did I even write them down? Okay, let's go to my grandparents. And just make sure I wrote it down. I thought I wrote it down. If not, we'll write one here. How's that? Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, Verizon, I have to do a little different. The total that I owe for the iPhone, the watch, and the pad that I brought because my iPad was dying and I was scared it was going to die and then all my information was gone. So I bought that, plus I do digital budgeting on it and here at the house. And so I had to do this differently because these three things I want to pay for, because you know with Verizon, you can't just pay, as you're paying your bill, you're paying it off, but you can't just dictate. They want it right then. If you're gonna pay it off, pay the thing off. So I had already started, but right now we owe $2,869.97. I did not put the minimum. My minimum for the whole thing, like my daily monthly bill, which they came off down from, is $250.95. So that will be that way till I start paying this off. Now remember, I did pay 3 things off before because this was up there. It was $300 and some dollars, and I paid my son's phone off and a few other things, and it went shot down. So the iPhone originally was $1,499.99. Right now what we owe is, so I'm gonna put this balance here because I just didn't want to do 50 million pages. So right now we owe $499.90 for my iPhone. The watch originally was $699.99, which they give me a deal for because I had my iPhone and blah blah blah. And so now it's down to $408.24. The last thing we got was the Galaxy Notepad. So it was at $669.99. It has not had a chance to really come down. And plus it's got a very low payment. I think it's like $15 a month. So it's going to take it forever. $595.52 is its balance right now. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna save, and probably the watch will be first, or whichever is the highest. The iPhone is the highest a month, it's $49.99. The watch is 19 something, 19.12, and this over here is like $10 or something. So I'd probably go after the watch and save $50 off my bill. So that's the way that one's gonna be paid off for the moment, and that's all I have. Okay, we did access one. So let's go to my grandparents and see what is going on. How's that? Okay, my grandparents, let's start with grandparents A. They were the ones with the HELOC, and they had, it's just $4,000. That's all they needed to pay off their hospital bill. And you may think, oh, that wasn't that much. It's monumental to somebody who's scrubbed floors and toilets and everything else, and to get their money and save their money, it's monumental. $4,000 probably looks like, I don't know what. So I didn't, I don't say anything about it. It's okay, it's fine, blah, blah. I know they've been through a lot, and I just wanted to ease that burden. And I think I should ease that burden, of them doing everything they can for me and for my kids, or trying to do things, and I, of course, go, that's okay, bye-bye. We're fine. So anyway, this is $4,000, and let me get my cheat sheet because this one's a little strange. It's a little strange. Oh, okay, there's what's happening. Okay, so the minimum, this thing goes up. It's a variable. It's a V. It goes up and down. Okay, I watched it. I was sitting there on a computer, and one day it was like $600 and some dollars. Very high payments. You would think this would be paid off, right, quickly, but they go up and down. It was $745 when I saw it. Then it went down to $683. Then another day it was $633. Then it went back up. It goes up each day and down depending on what's going on in the economy. That's the way they got it. Okay? The interest rate is non-existent. I'm still looking at it, but it's variable. It moves. Okay? This means I move. So that's all I'm worried about. You move, and I need to do something about it. So the balance on it right now this is tricky because they move. The balance on it right now is $3,155.35. I made a payment of $842.65. Now this is where it's tricky. If I decide to pay this off like right now, okay, you think, okay, I'll just go on and pay it off, which is fine. Yeah. Okay, but I'm just watching the movement. Okay, to pay it off. And I'm gonna write that up here, but I'm gonna write it on this tab because it may change and I don't want to sit there and look at it. Right now, today, to pay it off, they want $3,570.69. Even though the balance on there, the principal balance says there's just $3,157.35. So they're actually charging for you to pay it off early. Don't like that. So I'll be watching that one for a minute. Right now I want to pay. I don't know. Like I said, with me, when if a bill makes me angry enough, I'll go after it. It's not it's like the tsunami, hurricane speed. Okay, I'm like, bye, tornado, and if this gets where I'm looking at it and it's going back and forth, I may start attacking it before I attack too many other things. Okay, grandparent A, we're going to stay with them, and I will find their other page. And that's me back there. Now, they both had both were in the hospital, so that's where this stuff came from. Okay, grandparent A had a First Premier card. They had two First Premier cards. And it had a beginning balance to pay off. It's got a high credit limit on it, but this is what they owed. And it was $2,994.23. The monthly payment is $98. It was at a collection agency. I called Premier and I said, can you do this for 0% because I'm paying it off? And they want to keep their credit card, and can you get it back, and blah, blah, blah. And they did, so the monthly payment we agreed on right now is $98 because I just wanted some time to figure out what the heck is going on here. You go in things too fast and you will mess up. Okay, never go into something too fast because you will tangle yourself up. So it was at $2,994.23, and the balance that I got it down to, which one is this, 3? Yeah, is right now it's at $518.62 we have left. Okay, so it did drop from there to there that I had paid off, even though they said the balance was that, and I just said no. So we got that minus 18.62, and so I paid $2,475.61 on that one right there. Okay, now the other, that's credit one, that's the other grandparent. Okay, on this one right here, the balance that they owed was $1,944.59. The balance now is $503.20. And remember, we don't have any interest. The minimum payment is $100 a month. So I have paid so far, oops, yeah, that was right, 1944.59 minus $503.20 is, so I paid $1,441.39. So this one's almost over with rather quickly because they were very nice. Now this one gets on my nerves, the next one. So my next grandparents had Credit One. I tried with Credit One. Credit One is one of those cards that instead of like going up on the balance, like if you were going to you wanted more credit, let me put it that way, more credit. And instead of giving you just more credit on one card, they offer you another card. So you got one credit card, maybe with $400, Then they give you another credit card for another $400, which is $800. And why didn't you just make $800 on one card? Because of the interest. They get more interest. It's always there's a catch, and you got to catch the catch. And there's a couple of cards. If you see your card not even going up, it's time to get rid of it. You know, the limit is like, you know, 400, and they stay there, or 300. You never get you never get a raise. And it's like having a job. You never get a raise, and you're stuck there. You're stuck right there. And why aren't we getting our credit to go up? You know. And so that's what this company kind of does that. Especially with the low income people, they, you know, what everybody else know, they just kind of, you know, everybody else. Okay, everybody else. So think about this. If you are low income, leave them alone. Just go the other way. And when you make a lot of money, then you can go back and get one of their other cards that they have. So this one right here, I have not made any payments at all because they're at zero balance. I did get them to stop. It's with a debt collector. They went immediately to the debt collector. It was like, bam. I mean, they missed 2 payments, and off you go. Bye. I said 2? You didn't get a chance to breathe. So I haven't touched that one. I know who the debt collector is. You know, and they want $148.90. But right now I'm gonna get rid of First Premier, and then I will be doing this one, and then we work on the HELOC unless the HELOC gets so bad that I need to go back and do something with them. Mine I'm kind of putting on hold. I'm paying them, but I'm not doing what I wanted to do, you know, on them. But, you know, I'm still working toward them to do what they got to do. And then I will go back to doing that. And then over here, I did just a debt tracker so that when it starts going down, I'll see it moving, because you need to feel good about what you did. And I also did the same thing here. I call this I think Lady Di gave me this sticker type thing. So these are things that I paid off. And you know, sometimes you need that to look back on, you know, when you feel like I didn't pay off anything. Yeah, you did. Look at this. I paid off 2 rows. This is my stuff, and this is my grandparents' stuff. And then I can look back on this and go, well, look at that. So I can beat that. I know I can do that. You know, I'm not comparing myself to anybody here at all. Okay? You or the zoo or whatever. So don't do that. So I got my debt tracker. I'm ready to put that in here. And I put these kind of in the back because I wasn't for sure if to get them out the way from up there. Like if I need more paper, I'm going to come this way. As I go, I'm going to come this way, you know. And that'll be in the back, and I'll just move this way till I get it done and I can see what's going on. Eventually, I won't have to deal with the paper because it's going to be less and less. And it's really not that much to me anymore. You know, I've learned that I can pay stuff off. Like I said, you compare yourself to yourself, and I've learned I can pay this off. This is like easy. And I'm trying to do it with me, you know. I'm not worried about everybody else. But that's what I wanted to show you I'm going to do with this. And you'll probably see it as I update and do everything and blah, blah, blah and everything. And what else do I got to show you? This is the same thing as this one in here that I have. Let me go back. I have this in here, but I also had made this so that I could look at what was going on. My grandparents' things are there and blah, 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 and what I got to pay. So their stuff is in here too. And I will probably keep that in my little scrapbook one day and say, guess what I did? Pat myself on the back. Yep. So I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope I didn't keep you too long, but I did want to update you on what was going on And how I was gonna do it, I got this at the dollar store. The kids went to the dollar store and I like unicorns. And they said, Mom, look what we got. and so they brought it to me. They got it for $1 and brought it to me. So now it holds my things in there instead of them being everywhere. They were my things were in a box. I had a little box, and I guess they said, nope, okay, we got to stop this woman right now. So I hope you are having a wonderful day. I got to get out of here and out into the sunshine and go on my merry way and read some comments while I'm working. And I hope you are great and get those budgets together. We can do it and get that Christmas thing together because it is July. That's the 7th month. 7 plus 5 is 12. We should be done by November, people. Okay, whatever. Get whatever you gotta get done. Get done by November before Thanksgiving so that you're happy and calm. Cook your turkey and you can stand there in front of your turkey and say, I got my stuff done. I got my presents. The presents are there. I can wrap them and whatever. And you can put your tree up the day after Thanksgiving. Just get yourself together. Come on. And I want to see some gorgeous Christmas pictures during Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Okay? If you don't celebrate nothing, just like show a plant. That's fine. I'll deal with it. It's fine with me. Put some lights on it. I don't care. Anyway, take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.